cool. Oh, and I probably should like share my screen rather than just doing that. Let me go here, and then I'll share my screen. So, all right, can everybody see my screen? Cool
We
beans. Just make sure I'm recording. Cool. All right. So what we're gonna talk about today is pretty specific. Last time, even though we've talked about this topic in particular from like a grand scale, we're gonna kind of hone in and we're gonna pick a target today and say, hey, we want to work at this company. What are the steps to, if I don't know anybody there, what exactly would I think about doing to position myself to possibly get a project at this place? So what I'm gonna do. So who wants to pick our target for today? It could be somebody that we want to work with, who we're thinking about working with. Um,
I got one.
huh?
I got one.
What's up?
Uh, Dunkin' Donuts is basically headquartered in my backyard, and I'd love
Alright.
to get
And
there.
what type? Okay. And what type of work do you want to do with them? UX?
Yes. No, I don't know.
That's my
Branding,
problem.
UX.
I know like who I want to work with, but I don't know what I want to do.
All right, cool. Let's start from there then, because that's a larger problem. We might have the skills, but all right, let's just go through this, and I'll make this bigger. Because this is a more important question than who. Like, so last time we kind of got together, and we kind of did this the first time we talked. It was like, what exactly? And the answer to this question is usually what your skill set is. But most people, they'll be like, oh, well, I know how to design and I know how to code. And that means that I can do a lot of things, but that's about it. I don't really know where to direct that. So for example, let's see. Anytime, and we're gonna still use Dunkin' Donuts. Let's see if they have anything. Pretty sure. All right. So if our goal, just in general, if we came to, and let me ask you this, Jameson, how did you come to the conclusion that you might want to work for Dunkin' Donuts? Was there something that you saw that you liked? Was it just because it's a big company in your back door? Like, what was it?
Big company in my back door, and coming from like the home goods end of things and packaging end of things, I see them, putting out a lot more product that lends my creative abilities to that.
Okay. All right, so basically, to come to the conclusion of like, okay, Dunkin' Donuts might be a good brand for me to work with is because it was local, it's in your face, and two, it's within your skill set. And I'm pretty sure on top of that, you might like their product as well. Yes, no?
Yeah, no, of course.
All right. You're like, who doesn't like donuts? Okay. So there's around like three different, in this case, there's typically around 2-3 things that allow us to make a decision on whether or not we would like to do something or approach something or spend our time to do something. In this case, we're just going to use the parameters of, or variables, local and within my skill set, and you like the product. Okay. We have to answer these things almost for every project. It's the same thing for me. I know that products that I work within are by Adobe. Adobe uses influencers, individuals who make content to also promote their content. So I know that, okay, I like to make content. I know Adobe also has the need to do so. And that like I can see the opportunity. So basically what this entire equation is for is to help us find an opportunity or a direction of an opportunity. So next my thing would be, okay, I have the skill set. For example, we're going with Jameson's. You've worked in packaging. Dunkin' Donuts has packaging. They're local. Cool. Awesome. Next thing is like, all right, I know I would like to work for them, but what exactly can I do for them? What am I going to pitch them? What is the conversation going to be about? That's the next step. Are we in agreement there where I think Jamie, Jameson and Kyle, where it's like, I know what I can do, but what the fuck am I going to do when I actually am talking to these people? Is that kind of where the confusion's at?
Yeah, like knowing what they need and what kind of pitch would get their attention.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So the next thing,
Who will
can
win
we refine this?
on tonight? Who will
All right, so this is the larger question. What do they need?
win?
And I think that's harder to answer for bigger companies like Dunkin' Donuts than it would be for something small. That you can obviously see like, hey, their website needs work or
Well, I
they
am
need
gonna.
help.
Possible. What makes you say that?
Like I would be able to look at, I can't think of an example. Hold on, let me see if I can find an example. Like there are a few roller skate companies that kind of do their websites themselves, and you're like, you can clearly see that this was not a professional that did this, somebody that worked at the company that did it. Whereas like Dunkin' Donuts, obviously they hire someone to do their website and like social media and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And so that comes where, so how you do this, what do they need? You have other questions like, what do they have that isn't up to par? Because going with what you mentioned, right? A lot of this stuff, like I can go to Dunkin' Donuts. The first thing I think we clicked on was an agency project. I'm not really entirely sure what for. But large companies have a lot of like, there's portions of the company that have a lot of budget, and then there's other small portions of the company that don't have a lot of budget, or they have a lot of budget, but their product within that small piece of that company sucks ass. Have you ever seen like a social post from a large company that just was like, how they have so much money? Like, why did it come out to be like that?
No, but probably because I don't pay attention.
Yeah, well, that's part of the thing. Like if you really want to work for somebody, you have to look at where are they falling short, because that's an opportunity. Like for example, if I'm working for Dunkin' Donuts, this is literally what I would be doing. I'd be asking, okay, well, where are the opportunities? It looks like, because I'm assuming if I click into a lot of this, a lot of people, it seems like a lot of this stuff is like advertising for this is just what's it call it? First, let's focus it a little bit. So let's, instead of trying to go, can we assume, let's take a position. What at Dunkin' Donuts would we like to do? Do we want to do their packaging? Is that what we want to do, Jameson? Or do we want to do?
That's
Yeah?
where I'd be at, but you know.
Okay. All right, what do they need that they don't up to par? In this example, we're just going to do packaging. Okay, so if we're going to try to attack their packaging, we need to look at where they are at with their packaging, or what things they have that are packaged. I have no idea. So let's see. Dunkin' Donuts packaging. Where? Go to their website. So I need to, in terms of finding an opportunity, I'm like, okay, I'm a packaging designer. I want to work with this brand. Well, if I'm having the assumption, what some of you guys brought up, it's like, I don't know what exactly I can do for these companies. We need to find something that's fallen short. Jamie was mentioning that these large brands, they have their website done by in-house or whatever, by other people. They have money to do that. However, me just popping on to DunkinDonuts.com, like, if I'm like a dope web designer, first off, this does not look like a dope website. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
That's
Yeah.
opportunity number one. I know what Starbucks website looks like. I see this website, and number one off the bat, I'm like, for a large brand, this kind of looks like ass. So in my mind, I'm like, well, okay, let's just leave that. We'll do two things. So as I'm looking at the brand that I'm trying to work with, I'm trying to find holes in what they already have in their real estate, because those are opportunities for me to eventually pitch a better alternative based on knowing my own skills and knowing what I can bring to the table. Does that make sense? All right, I'll illustrate it. 1 second.
Wow.
So for example, I'm going to just use Adobe because I can actually use that example. Adobe is supposed to be a large company. So when people look at Adobe, people expect that Adobe, with the budgets they are able to, in the money that they're able to allocate, Adobe is supposed to be huge. Everything's supposed to be perfect. However, if I find on the web, on one of their social media posts, or I see some of their content is looking lackluster, or I see a website, for example, I'm not even sure if it's up, but I was following it for a while. What is it called? It was like a child company. What is it called? Creative Gem. Like, this was a very, this is not Adobe-esque. It's literally someone slapped some shit into Squarespace. This is not Adobe quality content. It's just image, nothing. It's not a lot of time was taken here. You guys can agree on that based on maybe some other things you might have seen from Adobe, or no? So to me, when I found this, I was like, okay, first off, website, maybe they don't have a big budget for it, but what I was after was their actual online content. So this is part of online events that they do. And because of COVID, their team, which was a production team, kind of got scattered, and their online events suffered just because of events. And so their website ended up going down. Their live events started to like really decline in engagement. So that's when I went in and pitched and was like, hey, you guys have me on Adobe Live. I'd really like to host these things for you guys. I've made an entire tournament for you guys to have me run these things, and also have it more entertaining, have one person to pay to take care of the entire team you used to pay, you have on one person. But that's kind of how it was, using my eyeballs. It wasn't just knowing that I have the skills. Knowing that I have the skills is number one. Next is like, we have to use our eyeballs, right? I either know that I'm gonna try to do packaging, web design, where's the opportunity? Okay. All right. So in this case, we're looking for what people think the brand that we're trying to work with should be, and we're trying to find where it's lackluster. And this is what the opportunity is. This is not magical. It doesn't pop out of nowhere. It's taking time to look at, if we're still looking at Dunkin' Donuts, we're going to spend time looking at, all right, their website sucks ass. If we're good at web designers, we might be able to figure out, okay, well, who is possibly responsible for, well, let's just stay packaging. Let's just stay packaging, just for the example. But for this, I would have to go through, and the reason why I kind of want to steer away from packaging is because I don't necessarily know how to do the research on packaging of a company. But what I would tell you I would do is to look at what parts of their packaging could be upgraded. To be honest, I'm not skilled in that. So I'm more likely going to stick into the website side of things, because I mean, it looks like they keep their packaging pretty simple. And I'm not sure how much you're going to get paid to redesign napkins. I'm sorry. I can't answer that. So I'm not going to pretend like I can. But
They have the in-store products too, like the take-home, like the K-cups and the coffee.
Yeah, that's more about kind of what I was thinking about. Like, there you go, the creamer, their t-shirts, their mugs.
gotcha.
Their mugs, they have like special folded boxes that are, pretty solid.
They have
That's a
pro-
separate website too.
Yeah. Okay.
But I get it. You can steer whatever way you want.
No. I think this is good, because the process of finding things is an example where I was having a challenge with. I was like, I don't know who makes the napkins, but this is probably called something. Well, first off, website's an issue, but let's see if we can find.
I like their coffee creamers page more than their home page.
Yeah, the website is already. We would honestly, if we were just to stop at the website, I would just put in Dunkin' Donuts into. That's the NL. There we go. I'll put into LinkedIn, go to their employees. And this is where the majority of the work would actually happen. So let's see, this is the brand director. Because I know nothing about Dunkin' Donuts, but this is how I would go about my research. So you have Charlie, who's the brand director. I'm going to try to find anything related to branding. So let's see, branding. And so what I did when I searched up Dunkin', it's looking inside Dunkin's real estate here for anybody whose name has or title has branding. So let's see. Senior Director of Consumer Engagement. I don't know, but let's see. Assistant Brand Manager, Associate Brand Manager. So what I'm looking to do is I'm trying to understand the architecture of who might be responsible for dealing with the products at Dunkin' Donuts. If I can figure out the room on LinkedIn that I kind of need to, that who usually deal with the budget of what the products look like, then I can figure out, okay, I know that their product, the particular product or product line that they're launching, I could do better. If you know that, awesome. Now it's just, well, who's responsible for the budget? Who do I need to talk to? So are we following on like the thought process, or where are you guys? Are we
Yeah,
tracking?
that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So let me see if I can get like a couple more. You got Senior Director, Investor Relations, probably not. Director of New Business, probably not. Global Director, Talent, no. Assistant Manager, no. Integrated Marketing Manager, maybe. And it's probably more so the site. So it looks like we have a good amount of the branding people. And so what I like to do is, so I have 3 people open. 1, 2, 3. And what you can also see is when you have, like, let's say you don't have a full picture yet. Charlie, though, is a brand director. And what also LinkedIn gives us is people also viewed when viewing this person. And if people know the network, and just what's awesome about LinkedIn is you can see people who are looking at Charlie are also looking at these other individuals. So whoever is in this box are probably also doing work with Charlie in Dunkin' Donuts. So that allows me to see a little bit more of the internal scope of Dunkin', if they're there. Let's see. Barbara Diker, brand director, performance marketing. Let's just pop her open. It doesn't say Dunkin', but I have no idea. That's Baskin Robbins, Gillette, vice president. No, show more. New director, brand engagement. I think we have Melanie open. Oh, we don't. Sweet. All right, that one. And then we have another brand manager, marketing strategy. All right. So this entire thing is what I do before. I'm like, okay, website sucks. This product line sucks. Okay, cool and all. We just start there. We don't have to go super deep. We're just like, we know we can do better what's there. Now we just need to find the people to have the conversations to see if there's budget for more. Opening up a relationship with them, just having a conversation. But we'll
Are you done with art?
more into that.
Okay, then I have to do.
Brand director. All right. And if I don't know what they do, like for example, I'm totally as blind as you guys are in this particular thing that we're doing. So I need to figure out what these positions are, what exactly they're responsible for. I literally just read their abouts. I'm a passionate brand builder with 10 years of experience, integrated marketing, public relationships, influencer marketing. So this would be a person you would talk to pretty much like kind of what I'm doing. Like if I wanted to be an influencer for, what's we call it? For this or for Dunkin' Donuts. She's probably somebody I would like to have a conversation with. Yeah, so she's just marketing. Probably not the best person. Director, brand engagement. Let's see what she's got. I'm a passionate marketer with experience creating breakthrough integrated programs for consumer brands spanning. Let's see. What I'm looking for, just to give you guys an insight into how I'm thinking, I'm trying to look for, and you might actually know better than I, Jameson, like the terms that people who are in packaging or in that type of work, the words that they use. Marketing is not one of the ones that I'm kind of looking for, that because those are just channels related. That's like, hey, I want to make content. I'm going to talk to you to make content for the products you already have. But for actual branding of the products, I think those are different people. Would you agree?
Realizes that
Yeah.
he had so many
Yeah.
failures. And so she's like, well,
All right, let's see.
if they're failing, that means that they're
Yeah,
not
here we
going to
go.
send over
Reimagining
information.
brands.
So,
Okay. Media and creative to accelerate. This might be a better person. She's better than the first individual who sounded like just marketing channels. Okay, here we go. Merchandise and activations. All right, so she would be one on my list. I'm gonna move her. I'm gonna keep her there. I'm not sure if we read Charlie. All right, so he's new. He's 7 months. And why I look at this is I want to see like, okay, the person I'm about to talk to, how long have they been at the company? Have they sat enough in their position to actually make change happen? Obviously he's the director, but usually when new people come in, I don't know. I like to kind of stick with the people who have been there for a while, because people who are 7 months, they're still trying to learn some stuff at the company. Business leader, team, and I think he might be also. Let's see.
If you also look, they both came from Procter and Gamble.
Say
Might
again.
be they're all kind of coming from Procter and Gamble, so it might be a team transition.
Mm. Is that what you noticed?
Yeah, the other woman you were looking at came from Procter and Gamble.
Oh, the one previously that I closed out of. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So new product innovation. So we're in the right camp. Merchandise activations. Let's see. We're gonna do one more. All right. This is marketing efforts, strategy. Brand manager. And this is Baskin Robbins. We don't need him. All right. So, and I'm going to see if I can get one more person in the kind of merchandising aisle. Marketing director, brand manager. I feel like we just had her open. Yeah. Olivia's West, not white. Here we go.
Can you show again how you found the initial group of people? You searched the company, and then on the company page, you searched for the role?
Yeah, so on, if I'm just in my feed, I just go here, type in Dunkin' Donuts. I go to this employer number.
Okay.
And then I type in the name of the name that I believe might be in their title. So I have no idea, so I'm just typing in brand.
Okay.
Director of
Thank
brand
you.
marketing. What just happened here? And now it's not doing. Hold on. I've had some people have this problem before. I've not had it where we have to go to, like, anytime I put something back in the search, it messes it up, or it just does like a whole new search. So we're going to keep it people, Dunkin' Donuts brand, and then we're going to go to all filters. And I think we have to put in a title. We're just going to type in branding. Let's see what happens. Why? All right, here we go. Brand manager. All right, let's open these two up. So we found two new people with the name brand manager and brand steward. No. So this is the Espresso Dunkin' brand. VP brand stewardship Dunkin'. So basically all I'm doing right now is I'm trying to understand everybody that has to do with just branding as a whole. And then I have to go deeper and figure out who's really responsible for the item or line of items that I would like to do. So for example, I think, where's the espresso girl? Like if I wanted to work for espresso at Dunkin', this is probably an individual that I'd want to talk to. Now, let's just move on because like this whole process, this is not a 1 hour thing. This is not a 30-minute thing. This is like, it takes time to understand the architecture of a company and who specifically has done what. Because after this, what I would try to do is figure out, let's say espresso, right? Let's take this. So I'm like, okay, well, first off, I didn't even know espresso was a part of the brand at Dunkin'. So what I could do is I could type in espresso, Dunkin', and this is a whole product line that I didn't really know about. So let's see. Or maybe not. But the research is not, it's not like a glamorous thing. Like it's a lot of, I think this might be a thing, or maybe it's not a thing. Oh, this is like, it's a lot of back and forth to just find a target. It's not a clean thing. But let's just go back to some definitives, or at least try to, because I did not do all the research for Dunkin' for you guys today. But I'll give you an example. We're going to slide over to Adobe. That way I can give you guys some real examples. All right. So to kind of go back to now, before I slide into that though, do you guys understand the the research part? That it's this is the most important part. One, to find the first two things: opportunities. What doesn't look up to par for the brands that I want to work with? Dunkin' Donuts website looks fucked up. A lot of the people in marketing that we saw, those are individuals that we could potentially open conversations with, depending on if we've read that they're the right people. And we can open up conversations and say, hey, I don't know how I feel about this. Because the first time we did this, I showed you guys like past conversations that I have had, and I feel like I need to whiten some of them out. So give me a second. Let me unshare this. And I honestly should just keep these. White it out so I can use them as examples. Let's see. Da, da, da. All right, here we go. All right, let me grab one more conversation. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Let me just. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Share my screen again. Okay, so first conversation, I'm going to have us start here just because the two different bits is one conversation was a cold conversation, never met the person before messaging them. I just liked their product and I wanted to work with them. So, second one is Adobe related, but we'll start here. So, I found a product that I really liked. I basically mentioned, I first messaged this guy. I did the following things. I know I like the product. From the research that I did, I saw that they were attempting to do social media, but their content was lackluster. And so I knew that with what I do, I could help them increase the quality of their social media content. And so I started off this conversation. I hope you're well, my friend. I've been working with the platform for quite some time, and I thought I'd reach out and say I'd love what you and your team have built for the design community. Out of curiosity, what is your team's focus for the brand in the coming months? I sent this on LinkedIn just with a connect message. That's it. The response was, "Hi, Brandon. Thank you for the note. I appreciate your kind words. We are ambitious. We have ambitious plans for the product and the brand, including working with customer evangelists who can talk about their experience building on blank." I know this because I see where they're positioned. They've built their product. They're trying to market now, but they're not doing a good job. So that's the 1 and 2. Going back. What I know I can do, where are the opportunities? Content, lackluster. Send this message. And my assumption is right. By knowing kind of where they are and what they're doing and how they're moving, I know they're going to try to do marketing, or they're trying to now step into marketing. It just sucks. Or it not sucks, but it could be better based on what I've seen from them. And I know that that's what they want. They're trying to do, or that would be their next steps, and that's where I would come in. I see that you create content for Adobe. We're an Adobe partner and work with the Adobe team closely. Do you see any opportunities to collaborate there? Now, a lot of people ask me because of this message, they're like, "Oh, you have Adobe under your belt, yada, yada, yada. You have firepower that we don't." The fact is, even if this wasn't here, the fact that I've done homework to kind of understand their positioning and understand the value that I can bring to the table for them will still get me the first set of responses. The fact that I've have something online to where he can see basically my portfolio, he's looked at my history of work and said, "Oh, this would be a good fit." So it's no different than somebody getting a message from you, looking into you before responding, and then being like, "Oh, I can kind of see where we might be able to do work." Does that make sense with everybody? Okay. I think this is my message. Yeah, I'm glad to hear from you and the team have some ambitious plans for the future, especially regarding evangelism and working with individuals to spread the word about the platform. I'm quite familiar with the platform. I totally forgot to, it doesn't even matter that these are even here anymore. It's already there. Whatever. But I'm quite familiar with the platform. I've been an Adobe partner for 2 years. I have a well-known personal brand. This is kind of where I'm selling myself in terms of how I'd be able to help them. I really like what you guys are doing and definitely see opportunities for us to collaborate from a content and distribution standpoint. Let me know if these opportunities are of interest to you and we can set up a call to chat for a bit for more details. We ended up scheduling a call. We had a good conversation. We just realized that their budget is a little bit elsewhere right now, so it didn't go anywhere. But we still have the relationship, and then when they get there, we can have a conversation then. But this is how I do everything. I'm showing this to you because it is a very simple example of me not knowing somebody, me positioning myself through my work. That's the only positioning you need to know. There's no magic seed, bean, whatever. It's just like show the type of work online that you would like to be creating for brands. And what's super important for that is like you only want to show the type of work that you want to be making for people. So if this is the target, if you know that these people that you're trying to talk to will come back over here to see what you create in general before they open their mouths to you, it's very important to at least look the part of what those you're approaching are expecting or wanting to buy. Does that make sense? So if people want to buy a Christmas ornament, everything that you know they want to buy a Christmas ornament, everything that you put online should be related to a Christmas ornament. If you want to sell 3 different types of Christmas ornaments, you only show 3 different types of Christmas ornaments. Over here, this was a little bit different. They knew me previously, but the thing was they totally forgot about me before this conversation happened. Like they met me and then forgot me. So we had a little bit of a conversation before. So context, honestly, this is about the creative jams, but I had an idea that, like I said before, the creative jams were kind of rocky. Their website went down. Their website's not looking too good. Their live content is like there's a lot of red flags. Because I did the research, I found opportunities. I know what I can bring: content. Their content on that platform and how they were going about it, not looking too hot at the time. So I basically, let's see. We were in a conversation of I wanted to know what they were focusing on at the moment to see if there was any opportunity. Is this something that they're focused on? Is there something that they're not? So I said, you mentioned that you and your team are doing a lot of online events, which got me wondering if you guys are making any effort to bring this event online as a 100% virtual produced tournament style interactive event, or if that is at all interest to you. If not, what type of events are you working, or what are you guys focused on at the moment? So I've done my due diligence to a degree. I know that to my perspective, things might not be going well or could be better. But I'm not going to say, hey, it looks like you need help here, hire me. That never really goes well. So what I'm saying instead is I'm asking questions to basically figure out where they really focusing on. Because when I can figure out where they're focused on, I can find an opportunity there and insert myself. Make sense? Okay. Okay, so she says, we just got back today. My coworker was thinking about doing these online. I have to see where she's at with it. I've been doing quite a few virtual events, panels and such, and supporting community groups with speakers, etc. And I think I messaged back. I'm having to know you guys are looking into producing online creative jams. The reason I asked this because my partner and I have put together a highly entertaining virtual production that is made specifically for things like design tournaments with multiple participants, hosts, and judges. This is something we're planning on using for our own design events, yet we thought partnering with you and your team on this would be mutually beneficial. Would a chat or a demo of what we have in place and how we could scale it online be beneficial to you and your team? They said yes. We had a call. We gave them a demo. And we are in conversations about how to bring that into many places in the Adobe universe this year. So it's all about, I say it's like a 3-step process. It's like what you do, what are the opportunities, and then 3 is like having the conversation to clarify, or not just yet. Who are the people involved? And then 4, This is okay. All right. So I'm putting these, I'm not sure if they help the images, but it goes, this is a question you have to ask yourself. What do you want to provide only? So you only have to do those things and you don't get tossed around from the client. So what a lot of people end up doing is they're like, hey, I'm a designer. They get in contact with the client and then the client asks them for like social posts, but you wanted to do website design instead. So your focus was web design, but then you got called in to do social media. So now you're, instead of, your focus is just off just because your clients are dictating what your brand is. And um, that's cool, but that's not predictable. You can't go from gunshotting and having your clients be like, oh, I want this, and then have another one like this. You can't brand yourself like that. You have to say, I only do this so that the people that only want that thing come to you or understand that you're the person to go to for that. If you are just showcasing that you're selling Christmas ornaments, people are not going to come to you for like milkshakes or something other than the three, what's it called? The three Christmas ornaments that you're offering. Second, once you know what you're offering, you have an indication, or maybe even like, Dunkin' Donuts is interesting. I know what I would like to do for them. I'm a package designer. Well, let's take a look at some of their let's take a look at some of their products or some of um, their lines to see if there's any opportunities to work with them there. Take a look at, pretend this is Dunkin'. Are there any things that don't really match up with the rest of how Dunkin' Donuts really is when they're on their A game? Is there something that looks like a C game or a D game that I could bring up to an A game? That's an opportunity. Once I know that, it can be in any one of these things, but usually whatever this is that you're deciding to go in on as an opportunity ties back to whatever you're offering. So if you're offering Christmas ornaments, you were looking for where Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have good Christmas ornaments so that you can make them a better one. 3, who is involved in that process for the projects that you're looking for? In this case, we took the example of packaging. So we went to LinkedIn, we typed in Dunkin' Donuts, we opened up a keyword. If you guys want to see that again, we just went to all filters and just typed in for their title brand here. We hit search, we find a whole bunch of individuals, try to understand the hierarchy. And then from there, we have to solidify whether or not the thing that we think is an opportunity, and with the people that are responsible for the budget for that potential project, or in that space of basically responsible for the packaging for the Dunkin' in this example. We have to open conversation with them. Hey, I really enjoy your guys' product line. I saw that, you know, your espresso brand compared to, I probably wouldn't even say that, but basically just finding a way to, just like I said here, butter them up, but also showcase we're able to provide to them. I know when I'm asking questions like this, they're going to come look and see who exactly is talking to them. That's why I know he's going to mention, hey, I see that you're with Adobe. That's why the portfolio or number one is important, showcasing, because people are going to do research on you. They're going to be like, who's this individual messaging me? Boom. Hey, I see that you're with Adobe. I see that you're messaging about content. There actually might be some ways that we might be able to work together. People are smart enough to put together the dots. But if you don't have this, if you don't have one, you're not showcasing anything online, you didn't really do your research, and you're just trying to find projects, you have nothing. None of these bullet points are really working for you. Portfolio, opportunity, who can help me get the opportunity, talking to the people who can give me the opportunity. All right, so let's pause. I've been talking a long time. Where are we at?
Do you have any suggestions if we're having a lot of trouble finding people, or if the company doesn't have like a fully fleshed out LinkedIn page? What do you do in that case?
What is the company?
Moxie Roller Skates.
MOXIE?
No E, just I.
Let's see.
Welcome to the Moxie Skates YouTube channel. My name is Astrid.
I was very. What is this on? That's interesting. All right. Who is this chick today? Let's go to. I'm going to try to. Do you know the founders?
Nope. I think she's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they have like influencers on Instagram. I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I don't like follow them very closely, but that's just like an example that I thought of.
Yeah. So she's the founder. There's the email. Yeah. So I just start with this.
Okay.
Hey, Michelle, I really dig what you guys are doing with Moxie Roller Skates. I've been following you guys for quite some time. I realized that, I'm a web. How would I approach this?
I know like they've been sold out of a lot of their products recently because of COVID. People are starting to like look for ways to entertain themselves at home. So they're buying like tons of roller skates.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like maybe their traffic, like their site has been getting more traffic as of late because of COVID. And I don't know.
Yeah. So like that's you're in a good spot. So you understand that they're really selling out a lot of their products, that their brand is doing really well, and that you're interested in I wouldn't say interested in working with them just yet, but you're curious to know with how well they're doing currently, where they're what are their current goals
Okay.
to continue growth in 2021.
Okay.
That is perfect. You love their brand. You know that they're doing really well, and you're just out of curiosity. You're really interested in learning like what are their goals, or what are they interested in improving in the next 2-3 months of their brand. That way, or what are they focused on? That way, without even like inserting that you want to do work with them, they're not going to be like, "Up, this person just wants money or just wants to do work with us. Let's just close that box." You like their brand. You're congratulating them on their amazing work, and just out of curiosity, because you like their brand, you're trying to you would like to know what their focus is on for the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
That's it. You have the email. You show them that you are really interested in the brand. You've shown that you've done your research and you understand that because of COVID and people trying to find fascinating or other ways to entertain themselves, that their brand is doing really well. And hey, I just would love to know what you guys are focused on in the next 3 to 6 months for when it comes to either marketing or branding.
So you can kind of do the same thing that you do on LinkedIn, on like Instagram, or
You can do it. I probably wouldn't do it on Instagram. It seems like she probably has a lot of,
well, yeah.
so
But like you can do your research on Instagram and see if you can find, like, she has an email address in there.
yeah, boom, email address. You pop that right in there. And the thing is you could do a couple. There's been times where I've popped people in a DM through Instagram. Sometimes I'm just saying like, what is the least busy place to get an email or to see somebody, have somebody see my email or my message? That's what I think about. When I see this large number and the check, I'm like, she probably gets blown up, or they, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, email probably is better.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say email's probably better because it looks like they only follow 16 people.
Yeah.
So that means they don't pay too much attention to their account. They probably have it automated or something like that.
Yeah, and if they put the email there, that means that's probably their designated spot.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, that you see how simple that was? You know what you want to do. You have an idea of who you would like to work with. You already know the opportunities, and you've even done a little bit of research to be like, hey, this brand is actually doing really well. I would actually like to get in with them for a little bit more on the action. I know I can help them improve on some of the things. Those 3 parts are the 3 parts of the emails. Love what you're doing. I see that you guys are doing really well. Because I love you guys so much, I'm really intrigued personally what you guys are into, or where you guys are moving. What's happening next 3 months, marketing, branding wise? Boom. You get to actually talk with them about what are the real opportunities, and you're like, that's where the conversation starts. And if, like for example, if they really, what's good about Instagram and LinkedIn is that, and what's different about email, that's why I try to use LinkedIn more than email, unless you already have like a pretty good footer in your email, is that via email, if you don't have a good footer, people don't necessarily know who you are unless you have links to whatever it is that you do. On Instagram, they can just tap your profile and be like, oh, I see what this person's about. They can immediately be like, all right, I see design. This person is really interested in my stuff. At least now I know what they're about. I can answer their question. And they also might get back to you just like the Quest guys got back to me. I see you guys do this. We're actually looking to move that way. And plus you love our brand. I wonder if there's something there. So a lot of things can happen. I didn't expect that with the Quest guys. I expected to work a little bit more, but sometimes that happens. But do you guys see like this is not rocket science? It's just, you already had, like Jamie, you came here with the call with the information. I literally was just like, where is it? Moxie? Oh, it's not with an E. Okay. Instagram, email. All right. What about the company? All right. This is what you say. So that's,
I think my only hesitation with why I don't like reach out right now is that I kind of have a wide variety of things that I do, and I haven't really honed that in yet. So I'm worried that they won't recognize me as the person that can do this for me. You know what I mean?
but it doesn't have to be perfect. The thing is that you already have, unless I see your dog, the first thing.
Okay, it's still over.
Still, you have creative content on here.
Well,
I don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out graphic design. And that when you talk to these people, one, regardless, even if you didn't do anything, right? Even if you didn't have any Instagram, the thing is, I know people without a website, without a portfolio, who make money just because of the relationship, the fact that they're just messaging people every day
Mhm.
and showcasing that they did take time to research the brand, understand that they're doing well, just like you told us, and that they're just curious enough to ask the question, hey, I see you guys are doing great from a marketing and branding perspective. Where are you guys headed? They tell you, oh, that's really interesting. I would, sometime they're probably going to give a very specific answer because you asked for something very specific. And that way you can have a back and forth with them. That's just a relationship. That is always more valuable than money because that can turn into a lot of things. That's what's most important. People are like, they want money first, but the thing is that you want to unlock the skill of unlocking relationships first. Like me talking to Adobe people and just being able to just quickly dive into, hey guys, what are you working on in the next 2 to 3 months? What do you guys focus on? I did the same thing come January because there's always things in the mix that I want to know what's happening on their side of the fence. So I know in a month, 2 months, I can make things or position myself so that when they get there, I'm like, hey, I already had the thing you need. Oh, cool. The exchange of money. Awesome. You pay me. Here's the thing. You guys like it. Cool. But what's really important is just to initiate building the relationship. That's super important. Even if you don't get a dime from them, the fact that they met you, someone who's interested in their brand, someone who's interested in the growth of their brand, that doesn't happen often. How many people email you and are like, yo, Jamie, I love what the hell you're doing. I see that you're doing X, Y, and Z. Where are you going in the next 2-3 months? How rare is that?
Super rare.
Yeah, and that's not a common thing. People
Yeah.
don't come up to me and do that. I'm very sure like that's an uncommon thing. So that is a rare type of that's why I tried, and I think now when I teach this, I have to explain it like that because it's not money first. It's the fact that a very uncommon individual came and was interested in the actual thing that I'm trying to build as a business owner, didn't ask for money, didn't ask me to do a project with them, but was just out of curiosity, hey, what are you guys working on? And through conversation, we just happened to end up liking each other. And maybe I won't have work for you, Jamie, but hey, I know our manufacturer who gives us our wheels for our roller skates. They
Mhm.
need some brand work. Hey, I know Jamie. Happens all the time.
Okay. That's a really good way to think about it.
Yeah. And I didn't realize to explain it like that before. So, but
Okay.
this is what I'm talking about here is not how to make money. This is how to make relationships to event. And this is networking. Even though it's a little bit, it feels like it's not networking because or maybe to me, it feels a little bit more natural just to ask questions. I would love to know what you guys are doing because what you're doing is awesome. It becomes more natural rather than selling too. It's like you're having a conversation, right? Like if I really liked, I liked old Star Wars. Let's go there. And let's say, still haven't watched The Mandalorian. I heard his voice come on one time and I was like, nope, turn it off.
Is what you're saying, yeah.
It was-
That's
it
like
was
the worst
not-
part.
I wasn't expecting that. But like you can that's what's awesome about the internet. You can see cool shit. Message people if you do a little bit of information, be like, yo, love what you're doing. Just out of curiosity, where are you guys going? And because they are about their business and also just excited to be, that's why they do business. They're excited to build whatever it is they're building. Someone's interested. Hey, this is the direction we're going. You're not going to, not everybody's going to want, it's not going to be like a 100%. It's not a 100% like, hey, if I hit enter, 100% they're going to email me back or message me back. That's not the case. However, I will have to say more people message me back than I ever thought would ever message me back. And it's I believe it's because that one, I'm not really selling, and I'm more so showing curiosity in that I've done research to see where they are. Because there's two different messages. It would be very different if I was like, yo, like what you're doing. What are you doing the next 2-3 months? Like, what? That's a very different message. But if it's, hey, I like what you guys are doing. I've been watching you for quite a while. I've seen you guys do the X campaign. So you guys did really well because of this. And I read the blog post where your company's up because people are trying to try new things because of COVID. Just out of curiosity, with all this, new growth in your company, where are you guys going in the next 2-3 months in regards to branding and marketing? I like you guys. I've done my research. What's up? Where are you going? 3 data points. That's it.
Okay.
Does that, Jameson, how do you feel on that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, Kyle, how about you?
Yeah, I think I understand.
You think? Break it down for us. What are we missing?
So recently I tried reaching out to 2 brands, and it didn't work out. So I didn't really get any. I got one of them viewed my profile.
What did you send them?
I forgot what.
You gotta bring it up. Hey, it's time to critique.
Well, I think I said something on the lines of, "Hey, I've been viewing you guys' content for like the past couple months now, and I really like what you have going on. And I'd like to know what you guys have, any like plans you guys have going on in the future, something along the lines of that."
Yeah, that was like the example that you don't want to send. That was like, I like what you're doing. Please tell me what more you're doing. You're missing the part where that showcases you've been paying attention to them. Or it's like, I've seen you guys do X campaign. It looked like it did really well. I also see this other thing that's also really super interest me. Out of curiosity, I'm sure this is done X, Y, and Z for your company. With that said, I'm curious to know if you guys are going to continue to do something more like this, or it has to be specific. It can't just be like, hey, dog. And I know you didn't say it like this, but it kind of comes off like that. Like, yo, dog, love what you're doing. What are you doing in the next 2 to 3 months?
So you need to be a little bit more specific.
Yeah, you have to show investment in the company, in what they're doing, to tell them that you have spent your time to understand what they have been doing, to show them, because the thing is that people who come across like that, to them, they don't know if you're a potential if you are a customer of theirs, a potential customer, and they might just answer you just out of customer service, because that happens. I could email people at Facebook and be like, hey, I really liked what you guys did on this feature, and I could give them feedback, and they could tell me what they're working on, or if they can't, they might be able to tell me they have such and such released. You can do this at any company. It's just an email away. So again, that's also why you want to have a paragraph or something in there that showcases that you've done some research, not just that you like them. Okay. And later I'm going to ask for screenshots of those messages because I actually want to see what they are. but it's people are like, oh, this doesn't work. I'm like, well, the execution might have not just been there. This stuff works. I do it all the time. I do it every day. I send one of these messages literally every day. So with that, any final, and we can work on that, Kyle. It's not that challenging. I'm not trying to put you on blast or anything.
I have like one question.
Yeah.
Is there like a possibility of me like, since that didn't work, is there a possibility of me like maybe redeeming that situation? Maybe like,
Yeah, there's always a comeback, man. It's not like you burn a house down. It's not like that. I mean, you just let it simmer. You don't have to email them right back. But let it cool down, and you can email them again later. It's not. I know people say burning leads, but usually that's like when you're spamming the hell out of them and somebody gets angry. That's kind of like burning the house down. But you've just sent an innocent message because you were actually curious, and it just wasn't formatted well, so it didn't get it. We don't know. They might have just skipped across it. They might have been really busy. It might have been a good email, but a lot of things could have happened. But what we have control over is how to tailor the message better for us to possibly get a better response. Does that make sense? So there's no such thing as burning a house. Do not ever think because I send a message, I'm never going to get a message again. That's really not how it works. I can't tell you how many times I've fucked up an email.
You got that message that one time you were telling us that one lady was like not responding to you.
Oh yeah, I have a message from Editor X, and I'm really trying to get better because these are going on the internet. I'm not trying to show specific emails anymore. But the conversation was, I got an initial response. She was excited. She was like, hey, send me your calendar. I sent her my calendar, and she asked for another link. It was my YouTube, and I was like, oh God. Even when I knew, as soon as she asked for YouTube, I was like, she's not fucking gonna want to do this. Because I knew then that she's probably focused on YouTube. I don't really have an audience there yet. My audience is on Instagram. So I'm pretty sure that's why she stopped responding. But the thing is that, okay, that's fine. I just now know I have like, okay, well, they're interested in YouTube, might not be able to offer that to them right now, but I'm very sure we've had a little bit of conversation, and plus she might be busy right now, but she's not a burned down house. I'll just come to her later with something that's more interesting to her. I know now that when it comes to social media, that might be something that they're interested in. But there might be other opportunities there too. I might be able to make content for them. That's something else.
Yeah, that's what I was talking with Austin about that. He told me it's like, even if like these conversations and calls you have with people don't lead to potential clients, it's still kind of a good thing because they know who you are and they could potentially come back to you down the road, or they could send someone your way.
Yeah, like that is number one. Even if there's no money, the relationship is more important. Yeah, them just knowing your name and being like, oh yeah, I know what this person is capable of. That's more important than the money, because that person has the ability to connect you to other people, and themselves. So, all right. Do we feel good on this? All right, I am going to drop, even though it's like a really ghetto worksheet, I'm gonna drop this in our Patreon chat. Oh, Mattia, do you have any questions?
For me now, it makes sense.
Gotcha.
So question now, I don't have too much question now.
All right, cool.
The positive side is that I still have 2 years to understand this well, because I still studied this. So
that's awesome. Well, you're learning this early. You're in a good spot. All right. And Jameson, do I know you in real life?
I don't
You
know.
look super familiar, dude.
I don't know. You go to Pratt?
Huh? It's all right. It's okay. Let's recall it. All right. So I put our little whiteboard in our Patreon chat. Hopefully that is good for us. But I hope this was like a little bit more specific than the general chat we had before. I know we touched on a lot of the same stuff, but I hope that the like specific examples of like Dunkin' Donuts and the fact that instead of just saying, hey, this is how you make money, no, this is how to make relationships. And it really only boils down to understanding what you have to bring to the table, showcasing specifically what you have to bring to the table, finding opportunities, finding the people who are responsible at the companies for possibly giving you these projects, starting a conversation with them to build the relationship. And to build a relationship, you just have to showcase that you're interested in the company, showcase to them that you know exactly what the company is doing at the moment or showing interest, and just being curious and asking what is their next steps in the next 3 to 6 months in relation to branding, marketing, whatever you want to offer them, so you can kind of get a glance at what they're focused on to be able to offer them something potentially, but not being salesy, asking questions and being curious. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. I will have this, it's recorded, so we'll be able to have this again. It will be in the Patreon resources by the end of the day. And that's it.
Nice. Thanks, man.
Anytime. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this group session, but we'll talk a little bit about it more in the Patreon chat because things are changing in February. So I have to figure that out. All right. But I'll let you guys know what's going to happen in chat.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. You have a great day, and I'll see you in
Thanks, Brandon.
Discord anytime.
No.
Thanks.
Bye.